I'm Jack Watts. I tattoo at Sangler in East London, but also known as Tattoos for Your Enemies, which is a name that I had through making zines way before I was tattooing. And the idea was that the drawings were really like scribbly and like quick. So the idea was that you wouldn't really have them as tattoos. It would be on someone that you didn't like. But then because I'd made those zines consistently for years, then when I started tattooing and I refined the designs to make them tattooable, the name had already stuck, so. And it's hard to shift it. No one knows my real name. So that's why I was put it on everything. So I'm like, by Jack Dominic Watts, you know? I was doing the zines for probably a few years. So I think I'd done Tattoos for Your Enemies 1 and 2. And then I was at uni and I was getting tattooed a load. And the guy that was tattooing me, I became really friendly with him. Like one Saturday he was like, oh, can you come and help me? Because his wife used to run the desk and she had to look after the kids or whatever. So I went in and then it just snowballed from there. And I was like, I did that for probably 2.5 years, helping him in the shop, doing all the apprentice jobs without actually realising that at the end of it he was going to teach me to tattoo. I think a popular misconception is that if you can draw, you can tattoo, and it's not the same. Because you need to draw for a tattoo, and that's what I was missing. I understood that I could draw, that I could make marks and make cool images, but then they didn't necessarily translate very well into tattoos for whatever reason. And that's what I learned from going and working with Marty in Watford. And that gradually then developed the whole thing. I'd sit down with him, he'd break the drawings down, go, no, this is rubbish, that's rubbish because of that, and that. And then I'd redraw them until I actually understood what made a tattoo. And that's how it came to where it is now. Usually I do merch around the time of a convention, because that's when you're seeing thousands of people coming through, and not everyone wants to get tattooed, because not everyone's bought a couple £100 to get tattooed off you with them. But they want something that they can take away, and I want something they can take away too. So I've done patches, stickers, sometimes I do prints, I've done a few different t-shirt designs, but mainly it's patches. Because people they're tiny, people can pick them up, but they don't feel like they have to really ask you about it. You know, and £3, £4, £5 or whatever, it's not really going to affect them too much. So then it's got my name on it, and they're carrying it around and they stick it on a jacket or a bag or whatever. I think they're the best things that I've found.